Greetings and salutations. So I've been going through and doing some farming, and this is kind of more of the discussions topic. This stuff is meant to be kind of listened to as a podcast, and really it's meant for the developers or kind of a PC development community construct. And so I've been playing some Atlas, got about 800 hours into it, and there's like three playability loops you have once you're on the ocean. But I came across somebody's float SAM, so I fired up the old OBS, and the reason why I did this is I think they should incorporate these float SAMs, are these like these cargo. They would still be float SAMs, but they're larger ones. They need more variety than what exists, and they just use the existing assets out there, right? So equip diving suit. Oh, here, let me jump on here. I want to. Oh, did not mean to do that. I want to see what it is, right? And so let's see if it's one cotton. They did that so they wouldn't it wouldn't disappear. But that's funny. But that brings us into a topic though, that they should incorporate these float SAMs to to be as loot that spawn randomly in the world with just a variety of different stuff, and maybe there's an armor set in there, maybe there's a journeyman recipe in there, a blueprint, but a combination, so that way it looks like it gives the immersion that something happened, and somebody had to dump the payload because they're either being chased by the ships of the dam, or they're ultimately being um, that some threat exists, so they had to dump their cargo. But yeah, that's definitely something I think would make a great improvement to the game. Is kind of break up introduce more variety into the types of float SAMs, like really double down on those playability loops, and they could have more variety. I'd like to see a raft just floating out at sea with that look like somebody didn't make it. They had their raft, and they were trying to cross. Of course, it's spawned in, and they could use those assets, and they could just where they spawn maybe one of them per zone or whatever, and they're floating around, and it looks like somebody starved to death on the raft. Maybe there's a skeleton there with a note to one's loved one, and really kind of dive into the lore about um, I guess we're going to call this NPC assets, floatable NPC assets. I think is what we're going to call this. But I think it doesn't cost any money to you're not creating, you're not you're just using things that already exist in the game, and you're refining them, and you're being creative about how you do it, and you're just kind of improving the quality just a little bit to the game. All right, thanks for watching.